Hi, I'm Dr. Lininger. I wanted to tell you guys, first of all, happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you had a really good one, even though we were closed here because we had about 8 inches of snow. So I know a lot of you are out there shoveling, and because I know this because the next day you all come in here, and I end up having to fix you because you broke yourself snowing or snow shoveling and bending over wrong. So I did a video on how to do that properly if you check the archives in the YouTube. I'm not going to talk about it today. What I am going to talk about is something I was discussing with one of my staff members the other day, which I used to give this talk on how to remain healthy, and I need to start giving it again because everybody understands that chiropractors look at the human body from a vitalistic standpoint versus a mechanistic standpoint, which medicine looks at you from. So the difference is we try to keep you healthy. Medical doctors treat you when you get sick. They try to make you better, which is good too, but it's better to stay healthy your whole life and never get sick. I think most of you would agree with that. So let me quickly explain to you how your body works and how you can remain healthy for the rest of your life, and you get sick a lot less, if not at all. Basically, your body works. It needs a few different things. It needs water. It needs air, oxygen. Obviously, it needs food, shelter, all those things. But you can live a while without those things. You can live a month without food. You can live a week without water. You can live a few minutes without air. And you can't live more than a split second without neural conductivity from the brain to your heart and lungs or your other organs. Okay? So that's the more connection between the brain here, down the spinal cord to all these organs and tissues, these vital organs and tissues, the more connectivity you have with them talking to the brain, the healthier you're going to be. It's when the interruption occurs between the brain and one of these organs. Because when I'm alive, I'm full of vitality. I'm full of living tissue. The closer I get to the end of my life, the death of me, for example, the levels of dead tissue within inside me will go up. Okay? And when I'm fully dead, I'll be in the ground, and there'll be little bugs and worms, and they'll start eating me. And they don't eat me now because I don't have any dead tissue in me. Okay? When I'm dead, I'll be full of dead tissue, so there'll be 100% levels of dead tissue and 0% levels of living tissue. And that's when the bugs can eat me. So if you think about that analogy, you can apply it to bacteria and viruses in the air as well, because they're bugs. Okay, they work the same as bugs. They eat living they eat dead tissue. Okay, so when one of these organs in my body, my lungs, my liver, my heart, starts to break down and not function at 100%, the levels of living tissue go down. The levels of dead tissue within my organs, say my lungs, for example, they go up. Now, what's happening is the bacteria and the microbes in the air attack that dead tissue, just like bugs attacking. Okay, and they actually create more dead tissue because they eat dead tissue, and the dead tissue levels. The more bugs attack me, the more bugs eat the dead tissue. That creates more dead tissue. So the levels of dead tissue goes up, levels of living tissue go down, and I actually get sicker and not healthier. So if I want to remain healthy, I want those living tissues to be 100% and the dead tissues to be at 0, or as close to 0 as I can get them. And one of the ways to do that is keeping all these organs and tissues operating with as much living tissues as I possibly can and close to 100% as I possibly can get them. So if you would agree that my heart here, if I cut the nerve that goes to my heart, what happens to my heart? It dies. But if I don't cut it, let's say I step on it, like I step on a hose here. Now the brain can't communicate with my heart at 100%. So the tissues in my heart, they start to weaken, degenerate, and cause disease. And then things come into my body, infection, opportunistic bacteria and viruses in the air that didn't used to bother me when I was at 100% living tissue. Now I get sick. I start getting sicker and weaker, and the dead tissue levels go up and the living tissue levels go down. And I get sicker until I eventually fatigue. And if I don't get better, I can actually die, where my living tissue is 100%, or my dead tissue is 100%, my living tissue is 0% now. Does that make sense? So throughout my life, I want to keep all these organs and tissues as close to 100% living tissue and as close to 0% dead tissue as possible. And the easiest way to do that is to get the right vitamins, the right amount of exercise, but also keep them connected to the brain so that they can feed and return information and energy along this pathway. We don't want any interference there. We don't want to step on these nerves. If you step on the nerve, you choke the organ. Does that make sense? So that when you choke the organ, just like fruit on a vine, it withers and dies. Just like fruit, when it's on the tree, the bugs don't eat the fruit on the tree. Where do they eat the fruit? They eat the fruit on the ground. And the reason they eat the fruit on the ground is because it's no longer connected to the root, the trunk. It's no longer drawing tissue, energy from the ground and nutrients from the soil. And it goes to the ground and it dies, and the living tissue levels go down, dead tissue levels go up, and the bugs eat the fruit. So these are your fruits. Keep them connected to your brain 100% of the time, and you'll be 100% healthy as best you can. And the way you do that is removing the interference. And who can check you for interference? Your local chiropractor. Okay? Because if you have interference in a nerve, it's going to weaken your organs and tissues. In your body, you're going to be more susceptible to getting sick from bacteria and viruses in the environment. And that's how you remain healthy. That's why I haven't been sick, real sick, in over 4 years. Because I get adjusted once a week. And I don't have this interference. When I don't get adjusted, I know, I can feel it. I can feel my energy going down. I can feel my body starting to fatigue. That's the first sign even before I have pain. I'm Dr. Lininger. Have a nice day, and happy St. Patrick's Day.